The baby dragon ran to hug the human child who saved his family. The sky over Port Astor was full of falling ships when Maya heard the crying. Not human crying, this was higher, rawer, like metal being torn that knew it was alive. Before this story begins, tap to save. And when it ends, repost it. Everyone else ran for the bunkers. Maya didn't. She followed the sound. Smoke curled through the shattered hangar, carrying the sting of scorched plastic and burned fuel. Emergency lights flashed red across twisted hulls and broken loading cranes. Somewhere in all that wreckage, something small and desperate was calling out. "Maya!" her older brother shouted from the shelter hatch. "Get in here now! 2 seconds!" She yelled back, voice shaking more than she wanted. She climbed over a fallen support beam, boots slipping on dust. The cry came again, closer this time. Behind a toppled cargo pod, she found them. A dragon, huge and silver-scaled, lay pinned beneath a collapsed wing strut. One foreleg twisted, wings crumpled. Beside her, a hatchling, no bigger than a Labrador, scales the soft gold of sunrise. The baby clawed at the metal, trapping his mother, eyes wide with terror. Maya froze. Every broadcast about the Drakari had called them conquerors, planet burners, the kind of neighbors you did not want. But this dragon's eyes were glassy with pain, and the baby was shaking. "Hey," Maya whispered, hands up. "I'm not going to hurt you." The mother's pupils narrowed. Smoke curled from her nostrils. For a moment, Maya thought she'd picked the worst possible way to die. Then the dragon spoke into her mind, voice like gravel under velvet. "Little human, please. The small one. Take him, run!" The baby pressed against his mother's neck, refusing to leave. Maya swallowed. "I'm not leaving either of you." Sirens wailed somewhere behind her. The bunker doors would be closing soon. She set her jaw. "Okay," she said. "We're doing this." She grabbed a discarded emergency cutter from the ground, one of the tools the dock crews used. It felt stupidly small next to the bent support beam, but it glowed hot when she thumbed it on. She wedged it under the metal and leaned with everything she had. Nothing moved. Her arms shook. "Come on, come on." The hatchling stepped forward, tiny claws clicking on the floor. He pressed his forehead to her shoulder, sharing warmth, a rumbling whine in his chest. "You are afraid," a small, uncertain voice touched her mind. His voice. "Yeah," she rasped. "We can be afraid and still help." The mother dragon's eyes widened, just a little. Together, human muscles straining, baby dragon pushing with all 4 legs. They shifted the beam an inch. Then 2, metal screamed. "Again!" Maya gasped. They shoved. The beam slid just enough for the mother to yank her leg free with a snarl of pain. She collapsed onto her side, panting but unpinned. Maya dropped the cutter, arms limp. "See? Easy," she puffed. It had not been easy. The baby dragon chirped, and before she could react, he leaped at her. She flinched, and he wrapped all 4 legs around her chest, pressing his warm, scaled body against her like a kid clinging to a life jacket. His tail coiled around her waist. "Mine," his mind whispered, fierce and shaky. "Safe, human, safe." Maya blinked. Hi." Her brother's voice echoed from the hatch again, farther now. "Doors closing, Maya." The mother dragon lifted her head, wincing. "Go, little one. The shock troopers will be here. They will see only enemy." Maya looked at the tunnel leading to the human shelter. Then at the dragon. The hatchling's grip tightened. She made the kind of decision adults always said kids couldn't make. "I know another way," she said. "Service tunnels to the old ore silos. No one checks there." The mother studied her. "You trust me, right?" Maya asked the baby. He bumped his snout against her chin in answer. That was a yes? They moved through the maintenance shafts in fits and starts. The mother, Seraith, she said her name was when Maya finally asked, limped behind them, leaving faint scorched prints on the metal. The baby rode on Maya's back now, head over her shoulder, watching every shadow. "Why?" his small voice asked once, featherlight in her mind. "Why help? We are..." Feared, hated. Maya shrugged as best she could, with 40 pounds of dragon clinging to her. "You were stuck. You were scared. That's enough. Others would leave." "I'm not others," she said. "Also, you're adorable. That helps." He made a noise halfway between a chirp and a purr. Behind them, Seraith's mind brushed hers. "Our kind remembers debts, child. You have bound yourself to more than you know." "Yeah, well," Maya muttered. "Somebody had to." They reached the silo district hours later, slipping into an old blast shelter just as patrol lights swept the corridor. Inside, human soldiers spun with raised rifles. "Contact," someone shouted. "Drakari!" The baby immediately launched off Maya's back, toward the guns. "No," she cried. He wasn't attacking. He raced past the barrel straight to her front again, putting his small body between her and the soldiers. Wings spread as wide as they'd go, he hissed, tiny chest heaving, eyes bright with terrified defiance. "Mine," he broadcast to every mind in range. Human and dragon both felt it. "This one is mine. She is safe. You do not hurt her." The room went very still. Maya stared at his trembling back. "Buddy," she whispered, voice cracking, "you're supposed to hide behind me." Sereth limped into view, lowering her head as much as pride would allow. "I am Flame Mother of the Seventh Brood," she said into the command officer's mind. "This human child pulled us from death. You will not aim weapons at her while I still breathe." The commander's hands shook on his rifle. He looked at Maya, dusty, bruised, eyes wide. At the baby dragon pressed against her legs. "Back up at Sereth." Slowly he lowered his weapon. "Stand down," he ordered, voice rough. "Everyone, stand down." The war didn't end that day, but something did. A line maybe between us and them. Because stories spread faster than fleets, and there are some images you can't erase. A human kid sharing her last strength with a dragon mom, and a baby dragon racing toward danger just to hug the child who'd saved him. Years later, when the Drakari flagship descended over a rebuilt Port Aster for the first peace summit, the crowd pressed against the barriers, half in awe, half in fear. The ramp hissed open. Ambassadors stepped out, generals, old heroes. Then a blur of gold shot past them all. The baby dragon, no longer quite a baby but still compact, still bright-eyed, charged down the ramp at full speed. Soldiers tensed. Security bots whirred to life. Maya, now in a slightly too big diplomatic jacket, barely had time to open her arms before he slammed into her, sending them both tumbling to the ground in a tangle of limbs and laughter and scales. He buried his snout in her chest, rumbling with pure joy. "Mine," his mind whispered, full of warmth. "Still mine. Still safe." She wrapped her arms around his neck and held on. Some wars end with signatures. This one, people would say later, really ended with that hug. If this hit home, please repost and drop one word in the comments. Safe.